Hey guys, in this week's tip, we're going to re-look at one of the newest modules of SMS version 3.4, the Invisipon digital couponing module. What we're going to take a look at and review today is some of the POS process and steps, and we're also going to look at the customer file in the back end in SMS Pro. Now, if you remember right, we did one of these video updates a while back, and it was just kind of a summary overview of what the module could do. In conjunction with the latest case study that we did with our friends at Fairway and also Invisipon, we want to go ahead and show you a little bit more about why and what this particular module does. Let's hop in. Now, before we hop over into the POS demonstration of the Invisipon module in SMS, I wanted to quickly review what this module does. And really, it's three things in a nutshell. It adds weekly sale items, the in-store coupons, and all those manufacturer coupons you're used to cutting out of the Sunday paper into a digital format and allows the customer to quickly and easily proceed through the checkout. Now, for you, Mr. Retailer, the benefit of this can be enormous and, in fact, may be even as beneficial as the SMS scale interface. How? Well, it's pretty simple. Instead of waiting, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe a couple months or more for the reimbursement of those coupons, you now can measure the reimbursement time in just days. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the time value of money, and those savings can quickly add up. Now, what I'm going to review today is just the steps within SMS. But if you want to learn more information about how to get set up with Invisipon or learn how to work with their web tool interface, go ahead and give the guys on the screen a call. They're great guys and they'll be happy to help. And you know what? Even a guy like me can do it, so I know you can too. Now let's hop over to the POS and take this baby for a test drive. So before we step through a transaction and start applying some digital coupons, I should let you know that setting this up within your store is relatively easy. Give your certified reseller a call. They will install it on each lane within your store. They'll license it by lane. Then you'll just hook up with the Invisipon guys. You'll get your account information, fill out any store coupons that you want, the manufacturers that you work with, that sort of a thing, and then voila, the system will communicate from SMS to the Invisipon servers and the coupons will start applying and you'll, as a store owner, will start getting reimbursed a heck of a lot quicker. Now let's run through this transaction so you can see how it's going to happen. So this first example is going to be exactly what you saw on the Fairway customer testimonial video. I'm going to go ahead and scan a couple items into my transaction here. You can see here the scanner going on in the background. You can see that I have not identified a customer at all at the POS. And exactly like what we did in that Fairway video, we're going to go ahead and apply now the Invisipon iCard or the customer account number. So I'm just going to scan a barcode in my case that applies the account number and applies the customer. You can see we got the customer name here. You went and saw how we reached out to the Invisipon servers, and just like that, the manufacturer coupons, two of them in this case, for these two items came back from the Invisipon server and applied to our SMS POS transaction. That's how simple it is. And you can also see in this view, we rang up the items initially, applied the customer, then at the bottom of the transaction, after we applied the customer, that's when the coupon showed up. All right, so when we subtotal this baby out and get the receipt, it's probably a lot like what you expect. You can see the items that we rung up and the coupons applied here. We're also managing the totalizers just like what you do today. Now, the only difference between this and what you're doing today is there's no clipping, there's no cutting, there's no leafing the newspaper, none of that exists. Your customer comes in, buys the items, whatever they qualify for, your cashier scans one barcode in this case, all the coupons that qualify for this particular order show up via a digital communication with the Invisipon servers. Your cashiers don't have to scan 10, 15, 20 types of coupons. It's one barcode. All the coupons that the customer qualifies for in this particular order show up. It's that simple. So we're going to go through one other example at the POS just in case your business process is slightly different. So in this case, we identify the customer up front. So the customer comes through the buggy, they're in line, they're ready to check out, they present their card, their iCard or their loyalty card or whatever it is to the cashier. The cashier goes ahead and scans that card. You can see we went and reached out to the Invisipon server just like before. The customer is now identified in the transaction. Now as we scan items through the normal process, what you'll notice this time is that as we scan them, if the item qualifies for a coupon, that coupon will be applied automatically. So that's pretty cool. Two different ways to go about a very similar process. So if you identify the customer up front, as you scan the items, the coupons will apply in the order. And then as we tender out, if we were to go ahead and cash this baby out, it's going to be exactly like what you expect. It's just this time we just Did it a little different. Identified the customer up front, then as we scanned throughout the order, the coupons applied. Again, pretty simple to take care of. So let's quickly take a look at the back end and the customer file and what goes on. So if you've already got a loyalty program set up and you've already got customer numbers pre-established, this is relatively easy to do. I went ahead and pulled up that customer that we used in the transaction. I've already got my own customer number set up in my own sequence and all that good stuff. So I'm not going to change it. The way Invisipon works is, generally speaking, they use the customer's cell phone number to identify that customer. That way it makes it easy for the customer to log into the website and choose all their preferences and all that sort of stuff. So that's how they do it. But as a store owner, I've already got a loyalty program set up. My customer number in this case is number 9. So how the heck am I going to communicate? Well, it's relatively simple. Just like a can of Coke, we just set up an alternate code for the customer. And in this case, the alternate code, we come here, we hit the little plus sign, we add a new number, an alternate number. And in this case, it's the cell phone number of this particular customer. Now, out here to the right on the type field, we just type in the word INV for Invisipon. So this is going to identify to SMS that this is an Invisipon alternate customer code for this guy right up here. Now, when we communicate that, it's going to go to Invisipon, and Invisipon's just going to see this number, go ahead and say, yep, that matches with this customer account, and then throw those customer coupons back, just like what we saw at the POS. Just that simple. All right, so let's say you don't have a loyalty program set up, or you're at least not identifying customers via any unique number. So how do you set it up? Well, it's relatively easy. All you do, in Pro at least, come to your customer table here, go ahead and hit the plus sign. It's going to ask you what customer code you want to put in. Go ahead and put in the cell phone number, just like what we used. That's going to give you the customer number, and this will relate directly back to Invisipon. You don't have to use the alternate code at all in this particular case. Then you just fill out the rest of the stuff. If you care about the guy's first name and last name, go ahead and put that in. Go ahead and associate the risk level, however it is that you're going to set that up in your store. Set the shopper level, just like that you normally would. Then if you got the email or any of this other information, go ahead and fill it out. Other than that, go ahead and hit apply, and there you go. You got your own Invisipon customer set up in SMS, and you just use the cell phone number as the SMS customer number. That simple. Well, as you can see, that's a relatively simple process, and I'm assuming as a retailer, you're not into giving out free loans. And when you think about coupons, at least the paper versions that you're doing today, that's really what you're doing. You're giving the customers free loans for the coupon amount for at least 6, 8, maybe more weeks. So, don't delay anymore. Give your certified reseller a call, get this stuff thrown in, and start realizing the savings of the time value of money in your store today. Well, that's it for this week's tip. Hopefully we've shown you a few new things in a few different ways so that you can move into the digital era with coupons at the very least. Until next time, have a great day.